Hey Gearfacts friends, I'm trying something completely new. Today I'm going to grab a few of the choice questions and comments that were put on Gearfacts and we're going to answer them. So, pretty straightforward. There are some great questions and great comments here, so let's get right into it. First one. Do you see Michael Amott using a Strat or Fender? No. Why is that? Because metal is not red hot blah 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 blah. I get comments like this quite a lot. My first answer is, who really cares? It doesn't matter precisely how you use a pedal, you gotta find your own sound. My second answer is, who made you the tone police anyway, pal? Here's a lovely one from Michael Powell. Please get a guitar player to play something before I'm 65. My response, as you can see, is don't look at me, I've never had a lesson. Complete with the smiley face at the end. And that's true, I've never actually had a guitar lesson. I don't really know much about guitar theory, but I do think I know enough to demonstrate the tone of a pedal. I'm not really here to play you beautiful songs, I'm here to demonstrate what pedals can technically do. And I kind of like the fact that my skills are intermediate on both guitar and piano, probably even a little bit below intermediate, because then you can have a listen, you can have a think, and apply your own skill to that, and think, yeah, that gear might be right for me, or no, that gear is very wrong for me. Though I have to admit, I was curious enough to go to Michael Powell's own channel. There's not a whole lot on it. He's got very professionally recorded music. It's very minimal though, and I did scroll down to the comments and I noted that somebody met him in a gig and said he was an arrogant racist. So at that point I'll leave it alone. Michael is, however, backed up by David Kitty, who says, sound real bad. And my response, cheers Dave, and thanks for subscribing. The next one comes up a lot and it is a good point of debate. Hello Gearfacts, I have a bit of a dilemma choosing between Zoom G1XO-N and this New Cross or Nux MFX10. They're both on sale at roughly the same price. Which should I choose? Well, there's no straight answer, but there is a lot of room for interesting debate between different guitarists. Me personally, I think it's a really close race between the two. Zoom obviously has a massive history and a lot of technological development in their multi-effect systems. New Cross is a relative newcomer, but what a shining newcomer they are. Their pedals are just excellent. One thing I've noticed about Nux pedals though is that they all tend to sound pretty much the same, like they've got the same actual sound brain in them. The physical design changes, some have expression pedals and some have different operating systems, and because the actual sound genesis is the same, I'd be inclined to choose a New Cross or Nux pedal based on its physical form and what's most comfortable for you. They do sound good and they have some strong vintage effects. If you've got a vintage style of guitar playing and you like the classics, New Cross is definitely something to look at. Zoom is a brand that I see as a lot more creative. They have some very bizarre effects in them, some very extreme and unusual things, very pliable multi-effects units where you can arrange the effects in the order that you want. And on the classic tone side of things and the amp simulations and things like that, I feel that they're not as strong as New Cross. It's just a matter of opinion, but I am going to give myself a tiny pat on the back and say I have reviewed about 120 multi-effect systems, so I think I've got a fairly good insight. However, I'm not going to give you a direct answer about which is better. Like I said, think about what kind of guitarist you are. If you like the classics, if you want to play a roaring rendition of Jimi Hendrix's performance at Woodstock, I'd go for the New Cross, or Nux. If you want to travel to outer space and really try something that's new and interesting and different, definitely try Zoom. It's fascinating stuff. Next up from Isabella Lovisotto. Thanks, this helps me a lot with my keyboard and now I know how to use it. This is the most pleasing kind of message I can get from a watcher. Thank you, Isabella. Just Me has commented, I'm a high school student. I've been playing the guitar for 3 years and I want to switch to keyboard. Which of the two do you would believe is best suited for a band with mostly rock and pop sounds? Okay, well Just Me is referring to the difference between the Yamaha PSRE 463 and the Casio CTX 3000. These are very different keyboards and I've answered this question and questions exactly like this many times. Again, it's a question of what your motives are. This guy wants to play in a band, he wants to play live, so I'd be inclined to go for the Casio because as far as choosing a great sound and going ahead and playing it, it's awesome. The sound quality on the CTX series, which are running the AIX sound engine, is just awesome. It's better than the Yamaha PSRE 463, which is their current flagship PSR keyboard. However, and there's always a however, the PSRE 463 is much easier to use and much more versatile. You've got filter controls on there for a start, really important for an exciting live performance and very good in the studio too. The Casio AIX keyboards, despite having superior sounds, they're not really editable in any serious way. So Yamaha's got the jump on them there. Also, the PSRE 463 can do a small amount of sampling. Again, it's a good live tool, quite handy in the studio, and just more versatility in the keyboard. So our friend Just Me here wants to play live in a band. I'd say go for the Casio because the sounds are superior. For somebody who wants to be at home, be in their own home studio, and just have an awesome time enjoying their synth and seeing what it can do, I really have a very soft spot for the Yamaha PSRE 463. A lot of people just lay it on the line and say, listen Gearfacts, which one would you choose? I would choose the PSRE 463, but it's such a personal thing, and I'm not playing live in a band at the moment as well. I'm spending most of my time making videos for you guys, so that's my motivation. Yours might be different. Have a good think about it. Go to the music store, try the two out, and remember, always buy the instrument that makes you smile. That applies for guitar pedals, guitars, basses, keyboards, synthesizers, everything. You will know. It's like buying a puppy, the one that runs up to you and you love him and he loves you. It's exactly the same with musical instruments. You'll know when you've found the one. Phil Fisher writes an interesting message about a little glitch he's found with Casio's MZX300, which is a pretty cool synthesizer and sampler that I've made several videos about. What he's getting is sticky notes, and we all know this from communicating between devices, particularly when you've got a PC set up with a synthesizer through MIDI or through USB, and you'll play away and one of the notes gets stuck and just plays in perpetuity. He's getting that, but only in the synthesizer on its own. He's upgraded it to the latest firmware version, but he's still getting these sticky notes. And I've got to be honest, Gearfacts friends, I have to get your help with this one. I don't know why that would be happening. It never happened to me on my MZX300 in the week or so that I had it during review time. So if any of you out there have bought this pretty impressive home keyboard, and if you have the same problem or you find yourself fixing the problem, then definitely get in touch with Phil. He needs your help. The thing I like about Phil's message though, and the reason I included it, is because this is good consumer information. People who are looking at buying synthesizers need to know about glitches like this and whether they're fixable and how easy they are to fix. As a reviewer, this information is very important to me, so thank you, Phil. Nahuel has asked, does the piano sound more realistic than on the PSRE 433? Or I'm certain that he meant to type PSRE 433. The answer is, I couldn't quite hear the difference. As piano sounds go, it's very much at the home keyboard standard, okay? Anybody who's got any experience with pianos will instantly hear that it sounds a little on the artificial side. With the PSRE keyboards, I've found the tail of the piano sound tapers off in a little bit much of a too even and digital kind of a way. Whereas Casio CTX, for example, their piano sounds are sampled right to absolute silence, so you'll get a kind of an oscillation as it fades out. And these are the kinds of things that will play on the minds of people who have a lot of experience with piano and are real connoisseurs of their sound. But in answer to Noel's question, I think the PSRE 433 and the PSRE 463 have the same piano samples. I couldn't tell any difference at all. The Braj. This guy writes a lot of great comments on my channel. I always like hearing from you, The Braj. How is it possible that these simple Casio rhythms are always so bloody groovin'? Just to finish off, Gearfacts friends, I love it when you guys write to me about bargains that you found on music gear. There are some awesome deals out there, and Gino writes to me about his Zoom 3030, a pedal that I absolutely love. Gino says, it seems to me that in front of a valve amp, this can provide very intriguing sounds. I am buying one for about €30. I wonder if it's still a valuable product. Well, the answer, Gino, is sadly no, it's not really a valuable product, which is a shame because it's an awesome product. It is so fun. It has analog drive sounds, so that's a good start. All the other effects in it are digital, but they're beautifully digital. It brings out all the crazy possibilities of digital processing. It's a very strange pedal. I heard one writer describe it as the speed racer of guitar effects pedals, and I think that's a pretty good description because it just does so much high-speed, high-powered craziness. I reckon I've made at least 5 videos about it, and if you do happen to find a Zoom 3030 for €30 like Gino did, I strongly recommend you grab it. That's all from me today, Gearfacts friends. I hope you enjoyed that Q and A, and if you want to hit me up with any more questions, I'm always happy to talk about gear. Currently Gearfacts is sitting on 12,047 subscribers, about 10.5 million views, and I'm getting about 10 comments a day from people with questions and comments about their gear. And I'd love to increase that because I really do like discussing this sort of thing, so hit me up with your questions and comments, everybody. Please keep watching Gearfacts, like, comment or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.